Hey everybody. Good Friday afternoon. It's 4:30 in San Diego. Glad you're here. Uh, we're gonna go ahead and I'll talk with you guys for a minute, and then we'll get started here. But glad I could be joining you. Hey Aiden, good afternoon. Hope you had a good week of school and you're enjoying yourself and you've got lots of fun stuff planned this weekend. You get to see Jazz going down his ramp. Hey Jazz, say hi. There you go. Hey, Sheridan, you guys are getting in on the Jazz action. So everybody that shows up late today, they're going to be seriously disappointed they missed. He's already moving on. So everybody who shows up late is going to miss out on the Jazz sweetness. But Aiden and Sheridan, glad you guys are here. We've got a short but still fun afternoon / evening planned for everybody that comes. So we hope you guys have had a good week. And I do know we are supposed to have a couple more people showing up, so we'll give them a minute or two before I get started with our first activity. But for those of you guys that noticed already, or those of you that haven't noticed yet, I shaved my beard off. So that's one of the big changes for me this week, is I just decided to get in early. I told you guys last week, they call it No Shave November, and people have a tendency to not shave, and I don't like being told what to do, so I have a tendency to shave for the month of November. So I'll start off November clean shaven, and I'll probably keep it that way at least for the month. But you guys actually are the first ones to see it. I haven't left the house today since I did it, and Carolyn left before I did it, so she hasn't even seen it yet. So you guys are first ones in, so congratulations. First one to see me beardless. This is what I've looked like for probably 28 years of my, probably more than that. Hey, Cole, good to see you. Yeah, I actually, I probably am willing to bet I'm going to say I have been clean shaven for probably more than 30 years. So I have a tendency to be clean shaven half of the time and then have a beard the other half of the time. And for whatever reason, like shaving off the beard, people are like, oh my gosh, you don't have a beard. But for me, it's kind of like, this is what I usually look like. But yeah, I've had a beard for, I don't know, maybe I was clean shaven last January. I know I shaved off my beard in January. So January, February, and then March, and then quarantine happened and I grew out my beard again, and I cleaned it up once. I cleaned it up once over the break or during the quarantine season, but I didn't shave it all off. I just trimmed it shorter. But yeah, I just decided, do something new, have some change. We'll see how long it lasts. I have a tendency to be pretty good about it, and then eventually life will get overwhelming and I just won't shave for a week, and then it's like, oop, I've already gone a week, might as well grow a beard again. But we'll see how long it lasts. So I plan on doing it at least through November. So one of the things, so we're going to play a game today, and I'll go ahead and get started as people show up. Once again, I see we have more people that are watching than are actually in the chat. So if you're watching, go ahead, log into your YouTube user ID, say you're here on the chat so I know all who's coming, and then we'll get started. So for those of you, maybe some of you guys haven't known me for that long, growing up, so my mom had a rule, and I guess it's not a rule. My mom had a lot of leniency. Let's put it that way. My mom said I could do anything I wanted with my hair growing up. She said I could grow it out long. I could dye it green. I could dye it black. I actually did dye my hair black at one point. So it's one of those, I have had the opportunity to have quite a few different options. So yeah, I dyed my hair black, and my mom loved that because my mom had really dark hair too. So she thought I looked a little more like her child, whereas right now I look a little bit more like my dad's style. So my mom's rule, she said, you can do anything you want with your hair, because if you're anything like your dad, by the time you're 30, it will all be gone. So I'm over 30. I still do have some hair, but I do have a nice little bald spot right there that I've got going, but it doesn't really bother me at all. But I thought I'd bust out one of my old pictures. So I have had some, not like a ponytail length hair, but I did have some pretty long hair at one point, and I thought I'd share this with you guys to check this out. Oh, computer went to sleep. I talked too long. That's me with pretty long hair. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. I did make some changes around the house with the lighting and the TV to try to make it so you guys get a little bit better clarity of the stuff that I put up on the screen. I think it's definitely an improvement from last week. I changed the TV to night mode. So one of the problems we had was a lot of the light was projecting from the TV, and you guys on the other side of the screen that were being filmed through the computer were just seeing a lot of white blurriness. So I think this improved it a little bit. So we've got, that's me drinking a fresh cup of coffee. I toured a coffee plantation when I was traveling with my buddy in Guatemala. So that was us sampling some nice little coffee when we were traveling down in Guatemala. So that's just for you guys. But in order to just hang out with you guys for a little bit, and I thought I'd play a fun game I found called Beard or Weird. So the way this game is going to work, is we're going to put a zoomed in picture on the screen. We're going to put a zoomed in picture on the screen, and you guys have to try to guess whether or not you think that it's a picture zoomed in on someone's beard, or if you think it's a picture that's zoomed in on someone's weird haircut. So just to clarify, it's beard or weird. So there is not that is a weird looking beard. None of those count. If you click weird and it's someone's beard, that doesn't count as a weird. That would be a beard picture. But there's some people where it'll have some zoomed in stuff like on their head, and you have to try to guess. Yeah, so basically facial hair or head hair are the two options. So beard is going to be any facial hair, and weird is going to be any other hair that isn't facial hair. And they'll be zoomed in. Some of them are going to be pretty easy. But some of them you're going to be like, that's definitely a beard. And then you're going to see it and you're like, that's the worst haircut I've ever seen. So let's go ahead. We don't want to spend too much time on games because I've been getting in the bad habit of taking way too long for our Restless programs. Mostly, I think it's because I don't get to hang out with people during the week. So it's like, this is exciting. This is my main social outlet with people where I get to talk to you guys. So I'm going to try to keep it under 30 minutes today. So we're going to zoom through our game, and then I've got some stuff to share with you from the book of Isaiah. So we're going to get going. Beard or weird. Here's our first picture. So do you guys think that is a beard picture? Or do you think that's a weird picture? Reminder, weird picture is anybody's haircut that is not their facial hair. So go ahead and get your votes in. Do you think that is a picture of a beard, or do you think that is a picture of a weird? So go ahead and get your votes in. I see we've got, it seems like Aiden and Sheridan and Cole. Okay, Abby. I know it says we have 6 of you guys watching, so I've only seen from 4 of you in the chat. So if you want to get your votes in, beard or weird. Okay, Cole's got Abby. We got 3 beards and 1 weird, and the answer is, okay, yes, that is a beard, just standard, but it is a beautiful beard. That is an impressive beard. It's very shapely, well-groomed. Good job, man. But let's see this next guy. What do you guys think? Do you think that is a beard picture, or do you think that is a weird picture? So once again, beard is anything that is facial hair. Weird is anything that is not facial hair. So if it's using the head, I don't know, back hair, something. So the pictures are not flipped. No, they're all just straight on pictures. Is this at least I think that's the case. I don't know for sure, but yeah, for the most part, They're not. So get your votes in. Do you guys think this is a beard or a weird? So we got a weird from Abby. We got a beard from Aiden. We have anybody else that wants to get their votes in. We got a beard from Sheridan. We got a I don't know from Cole. Hey, Cole, if you say I don't know, you're 100% to get it wrong. If you say beard or weird, you got a 50% chance. So when it comes to one or the other games, you should always put a guess in just in case you might be right. But once again, we're not playing for winning anything. So there's no prize for getting this right or wrong other than you can say, I said that. So here we go. Give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How awesome is that? That is weird. So it's a guy who has his head, top of his head shaved, and he's got this part down in the middle like that, and he's got glasses like that. So that is a weird for sure. I'm not positive, but I think yes, those eyes and eyebrows are also shaved out of his hair. That is, yeah, that's serious commitment. That is impressive. That's like pretty good artwork. Making eyes using someone's head hair. Like that's pretty impressive artwork. Yes, Aiden, I'm with you on that. That is also very weird. There was probably a time in my life where I would have tried to do that at some point, but at this point, I don't think Carolyn would have anything to do with it unless I was about to immediately shave off my beard or completely shave my head. Actually, I have my phone on me. During this next one, I'm actually going to look up a I think I have it on Instagram. It's an old picture. I had a full beard one year at camp, and then every day I shaved off a little bit more. I'm going to see if I can find that picture on Instagram and show you guys in the camera. But let's take a look at this next guy, see whether we think this is weird or beard. Okay, what do you guys think? Is that a weird picture or a beard picture? Weird or beard? Look at okay, I found my Instagram picture. So let's see if we can get a date on this. This is July 11th, 2013. So this was 7 years ago. 7 years ago. Guys, get your votes in. Do you think that is a beard or do you think that is weird? And I'll show you the answer to this one. Beard, beard, beard. Yep. You guys all got that one right. It is a beard. It is a beard. So here we go. I'm going to show you guys the next one. And then while you guys get your answers in, I'll show you the picture of my multiple styles of shaving off facial hair. Okay, here we go. We have a beard or a weird. What do you guys think? So do you think that is a beard or a weird? Yeah, Cole, I'm going to guess that the Ripley's Believe It or Not beard is quite long. Or the Guinness Book of World Records beard. I'm going to go with it's like 30 feet long, which would be an absolute nuisance. But here's the picture of my multiple beards. I don't know how well you guys will be able to see it. I'll hold that there for you. So basically, that was 4 different days at summer camp where I shaved off different pieces. So the funniest realization that this had during this process is the one on I decided on the first day that I was just going to shave off my chin and a strip right down the middle. And the weirdest thing was I realized after I did that, I looked just like a guy Robbie on my softball team. And I realized Robbie, I never had like looked at Robbie's beard and thought, that's kind of weird. But then after I did it, I was like, yeah, that is kind of weird. But it looked pretty odd on me, but he always looked kind of normal. Yeah, I'm with you, Cole, too. I like the one on the bottom left. And that was the one where when I did that, I looked exactly like the camp medic. So the camp medic was he was a volunteer from the fire department. So he was one of the men on the fire department, and he came in and he had that beard. Yeah, of all those ones, that one is my favorite. None of them honestly were all that fantastic. That isn't the best mustache I've ever had. Once I used to have a mustache that could curl real nice and it would go all the way around like a bicycle wheel. But that was a while back. So yeah, those are mine. So what do you guys think? Get your votes in. Do you think that is a beard or do you think that is a weird? Get your votes in and we will see in a second. Actually, I was gonna look up the hey, that's a great. I feel like that's a Richard emoji, but I don't have a beard anymore, so it doesn't count. Well, you guys get your votes in. I'm gonna ask Guinness Book what's the longest beard. What is the Guinness Book World Record for longest beard? Here we go. It looks like 1945. Someone named Hans Longseth in 1927. Oh, come on. Okay, it was 17 feet 6 inches. So a guy had a beard that was over 3 times my height. That would be a lot of hair. That would be a lot of hair. So the world record is he's no longer alive though. Was Hans Langseth from Iowa. It was presented to the Smithsonian Institution. So this person from 1927, so 40 years after his death, his beard was given to the Smithsonian. Seems like a pretty odd story to me. But yeah, that's really long. So let's see. What is this? Is this a beard or is this a weird? This one is serious commitment. Yeah, that's weird. It is not a beard. This guy has a full-on tattoo on the back of his head of a face. I'm just thinking that would be very entertaining to watch ride a bicycle. Very entertaining to watch that guy ride a bicycle. From behind, you just see this angry-looking face with some funky. I guess that's one of those things that, if you're going to get a tattoo, putting it on your head so then it grows out and then you can't see it, that might be wise. But that would also be weird if you get that done and then eventually it grows and then you lose your hair and you've got like a bald spot and there's just like an eye sticking out of your bald spot. That would be unfortunate. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm with you, Cole. That does look like a dummy. It looks quite odd. Okay, here we go. Next one. Is that a beard or is that a weird? Just a reminder, weird does not count as a weird looking beard because many beards are weird looking. This is either, is this someone's facial hair or is this someone's head hair or body hair? Because, you could do something with your body hair. In fact, I shaved a smiley face on a middle school trip once into my back hair. probably more information than anybody out there needed, but it is what it is. It's the truth. For those of you guys that remember Cameron Liu from our middle school volunteer, who now lives in the Carolinas. Actually, he lives in the DC area now. He moved to the Carolinas, but he lives in the DC area now. He was there. He was one of the middle school kids that did it. So, fun story. So, what do you guys think? Do you think that is a beard, or do you think that is a weird? Get your answers in. We got some weird. You guys are all calling this one weird. Okay, let's check it out. Here we go. Yes, that is a weird for sure. There's I'm sure there's a picture of it out there somewhere, Cole, but I don't know where it is. That is definitely for sure a weird. Cole, we actually did the smiley face before we went to a water park. So we did a water park and then did the smiley face. But yeah, that's definitely a weird. I don't like that's like a Friar Tuck haircut with spikes. It doesn't help that his face is kind of creepy too. I think that kind of adds to the whole weird. But yeah, so that's definitely a weird. Definitely a weird. Okay, we got two more, I think. Let's see. Yeah, two more. Okay, what do you guys think? Do you think that is a weird, or do you think that is a beard? So do you think that's someone's facial hair, or do you think that's someone's hair off of somewhere else on their body? Head, shoulders, back. We'll probably limit it at that. Feet, I don't know. We have a hobbit cut. I don't know. Beard or weird? Get your votes in. So we got a weird from Aiden. We got a beard from Sheridan. We got a beard from Cole. Or weird from Cole. We got a handful of you out there watching that haven't voted yet. So if you want, the way this game works is you either say weird or beard. So it's either beard stands for any form of facial hair. Weird is any head hair or other haircut that is not facial hair. Will all qualify as weird, whether you think it's awesome or weird or just not a beard. So get your votes in for beard or weird. Here we go. The answer is beard. Can I just say that is a sweet, sweet, sweet beard. Very, very cool. Can you imagine how long it takes that guy to get ready every morning? I also want to know what his beard looks like if he doesn't prepare it to look like an octopus. I feel like he needs 2 more legs. But that is a very, very impressive beard. I am also impressed, Cole. It's one of those, that guy obviously puts a lot of work into making sure his beard looks cool. A lot of work into making sure his beard looks cool. Definitely a lot more work than I ever put into making my beard look cool. So, last one. Yes, that's a good one. That is a good one. That is a great beard. I kind of wish that guy was my grandfather. My grandfather's, obviously, I had 2 grandfathers. Both had pretty unique names. My dad's father, his name was Noble. So Noble Klusmeyer. That guy looks like he could be a Noble Klusmeyer. My other grandfather, his name was Glade Wattenbarger. So Glade and Noble. But fun fact, my grandfather's name wasn't actually Glade. He went by his middle name, which was Glade. And my grandmother didn't even know what his real name was until after he passed away, and she saw it on his birth certificate. His first name was actually Esqui. So his name was Esqui Glade Wattenbarger. Talk about a name. I thought Klusmeyer was a rough one, but Esquiglade Wattenbarger. I'll take Klusmeyer. Not too bad. Okay. Last one. Beard or weird? What do you guys think? Last one, beard or weird? Get your votes in. Do you think that is someone's beard or do you think that's someone's weird? So, granted, most of you guys have been here for the majority of our thing, but in case we didn't, we're playing a beard-based game because I shaved off my beard. I shaved off my beard earlier today, so I was like, let's play a beard-based game just for fun. What do you guys think? Do you think that is a weird? Do you think that is a... Yeah, Cole, that isn't quite how it's spelled. I'll type in how it's spelled really quick. It's Wattenbarger, W-A... I guess I can type it. Wattenbarger. So that's my mother's maiden name. So my mom, who goes by Marty, her actual name's Martha. So it's Martha Wattenbarger Klusmeyer. Good thing she didn't hyphen that beast. That would have been a doozy. Okay, everybody get your votes in. I only see... Looks like we're still missing a couple votes. If you guys want to put votes in, you can. If not, no worries. Here we go. It is a weird... I mean, he does have a beard. He does have face hair, but the picture is actually of his head hair. That is an interesting one. Yeah, Cole, when I said beast is like something that would be really difficult. Like, imagine having every time you wrote your name, if you had to write out all of Wattenbarger Klusmeyer, or telling somebody else that's filling out paperwork how to spell Wattenbarger Klusmeyer. So calling something a beast is a way of saying that would be really difficult. That would be really hard. So yeah, that is definitely a weird haircut. So we're only going to do this one activity today for game time, just because we don't want to take up too much time. Everybody's tired of being on the screens all week. But here's a little bit of something to cheer everybody up. I've been showing people pictures of Jazz lately. So we've had Jazz for over a year now. And that's Kitten Jazz right there. Pretty early on from the time we got him. So that was probably, he was a month or so old. So that's baby Jazz when he was really little. So super cute. He is still super cute, but he's not tiny like that anymore. And then we got one more of him. He looks like this still quite frequently. He loves to just take naps. He sleeps quite a bit. I'm sure he's sleeping somewhere else, because if he's not sleeping, he's usually getting into trouble. And I haven't heard any random noises. We'll see. So he likes chasing after these Nerf. When I shoot off the Nerf gun, he likes chasing the darts. I've shown you guys the video of I shoot it at the door and then he jumps up and tries to swat him off of the door. So we'll see. Maybe he'll come over when I start shooting the darts at the end of the program. So that's Jazz taking a nap. He looks like that quite often. So that's in his little bed that I have. I keep that next to the desk that I work at. And he'll just kind of fall asleep in that, and I'll be able to hang out in him. So it's kind of fun to work and just have him hanging out there. And that's it for the Jazz pictures. So I do want to give you guys some announcements of stuff we have coming up. We do have a couple things. Oh, there we go. I went the wrong direction. We do have a couple things coming up for you guys. So our goal is to try to do something online and then in person, rotating from week to week. So we do an in-person event, and then we want to do an online event on Friday. And then the following week, we'll do something. So, but just to get started, we did an event, and now we've had 2 restless weeks back to back. And then now we're going to have 2 weeks back-to-back coming up where we're going to have in-person events. So our next Restless isn't going to be until I think it's the 13th or 14th of November. So this next Friday, we're going to be doing an event at the church. You can just bring your camping chairs, and we're going to show the movie Hotel Transylvania down in the lower lot. So bring your family, invite your friends. It's free. We're just going to hang out in the lower lot. The movie starts at 6:30 and then it's till 8:00. We're doing all the typical rules that we have for all of our events now. You have to wear a mask the entire time. You have to practice social distancing. You have to check in and get your temperature checked. So it's going to be safe for everybody, but it's also going to be a good time to see a bunch of people you may not have seen for a while. So I encourage you guys to come to that. Invite your friends. So it's going to be from 6:30 to 8. It's going to be kind of cool because it'll be dark. It'll be later in the evening. So make sure you bring your blankets. Make sure you bring a camping chair to sit in so you have a seat. And then just sit back, enjoy, bring your own snacks. We're not typically, if we were to do this event, we would bust out our popcorn machine and our cotton candy machine. But because of COVID regulations, we're trying to minimize the potential for any spread. So we're going to we're not going to serve any of our own food, but we're going to make sure you guys bring your own snacks. So if you want to bring your own bag of popcorn, have your parents help you pop that beforehand, or run by Albertsons beforehand and grab a box of little mini donuts or whatever your favorite movie snack is. I know Twizzlers are a movie snack hit. Mike and Ike's are a great movie snack hit. If you guys want to comment on your favorite movie snacks, you can go ahead and put that in the chat if you want. I know for me, as a type 1 diabetic, one of the problems is I can't eat a lot of sugar without having to test my blood sugar and take insulin. So like my favorite snack is definitely Red Vines, but Red Vines do all sorts of crazy things with blood sugar. So if I'm going to have to sit there for 2 hours through a movie, it can be difficult, and I don't want to have to leave, or especially if I'm in a theater, I don't want to have to leave the movie theater and then come back and check my blood sugar, and you can't do an insulin injection in the dark, so I have to leave the movie. So sometimes it can be difficult. But they are fantastic. So maybe I'll go with pork rinds. I know they're probably not the most stereotypical delicious movie snack, but it's one that I can eat without having to step out and take insulin, because there's no form of sugar or carbohydrate in a chicharron. So yeah, I'm with you, Cole. I probably like most snacks as well. Okay. And then, so that's our first announcement. Movie night next Friday. And then the following Friday, which is November 7th. Yeah, November 7th, which is Saturday. We're going to be doing a outdoor campfire in the lower lot. And we're going to have s'mores for everybody. So we're going to be doing roast our own s'mores. We're going to have a couple little fires for people to be able to roast their s'mores while social distancing, hanging out. It's from 5 to 6:30. So I'll have all this information for you guys if you follow us on Instagram, or we'll put it up it's on the church webpage too. If you just go to rbcommunity.org/events, you'll be able to find our events for the youth as well on there. So if you want to go check those out, go for it. But here I'm already at 30 minutes, and I was trying to keep this whole thing at 30 minutes, but I do want to talk to you guys for a little while about this passage in Isaiah. So this is Isaiah chapter 43, verse 19. So really quickly, one of the things that is really, it's really easy for us to get into a season where we complain a lot. I don't know about you guys, but it tends to, granted, I'm not going to compare myself to a small child, but it makes me think of a small child that kind of has a meltdown. Like their entire day could have been going really great, but there's that moment where there's a mom in Target and the kid wants a candy bar, and then all of a sudden she is like the worst mom on the planet, right? We have a tendency to do that to God sometimes, right? It's really easy for us to forget about all of the blessings that God has given us, right? In those moments where I don't get what I want, right? And the reality of it is I don't get what I want all the time, because God knows what's best for me. But in those moments where I don't get what I want, or life is hard and I don't want to work, and I just feel like things are unfair. I'm sure all of you have had seasons in life where you just felt like life is unfair. You might feel like that way right now, and you're just, you're just taught when you're talking to God, you're just saying, this is dumb. I don't like this. What's going on? I hate what's going on in the world. So this passage is really, I think it's really referring to a couple different things. But what I love about this passage is it's a Old Testament passage, but we're able to look at it from a perspective of a New Testament theology, right? So it's one of those things where when this verse was first read, people would look at it and they would think just as much about the past as they were about the future. So we as Christians know now when we read this passage that this is prophecy for the coming of the Messiah, right? But if you were an Israelite at that time, if you were one of the chosen people of God, you would have read this passage and you would have been reflecting on what God did for his people when he led them out of slavery in Egypt, right? So all of you guys no doubt know the story, right? All of you no doubt know the story of God's people being taken out of slavery into Egypt. And the reality of it is it didn't take very long for them to go from being in slavery to them also then complaining, right? So it's one of those things. I think it obviously what we're experiencing now is far, far, far from what God's people were experiencing at that time. But we have a tendency to quickly forget how life was and be really, really focused on complaining about how life is, and also to lose focus on the hope of what God is doing, right? So that was a really confusing sentence, but it's really easy for us to forget the blessings that God has given us already. It's really easy for us to focus on the hardships we're experiencing right now. And then it's really difficult for us to live in the hope of the things to come, right? So I love this passage because it kind of addresses all three. So I'm going to read it really quick for you guys. And then we'll spend a few more minutes talking about it, and then we'll be done for the day. So it says, once again, this is Isaiah chapter 43, verse 19. It says, or verse 18 and 19, sorry. It says, forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the desert and streams in the wastelands, right? So this is a passage that I love, and this is talking about two things. One, it's a reflection of what God did for his people in Egypt, right? People were complaining because they said, don't you remember when we were in Egypt? We had it so good. We had it like life was so much better, and they were dwelling on the past, right? But in reality, sometimes it's really easy to get into that rut of complaining. In reality, if they were to really, 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 they just wanted to be complaining in that moment. If they'd really looked back and said, life in Egypt was not good. We were enslaved. Yeah, maybe things weren't the worst at times, but I'm willing to bet that if you were to go back to when they were in Egypt, they would have been saying the same things. They would have been saying, remember how great life was before we were in Egypt? Remember how great, right? So they were complaining when they were in Egypt, and they get out of here and they get out of Egypt, and they're complaining about how it was better when we were in Egypt. And they're spending a lot of time focusing on the past, right? And they forget that God is writing a story for their deliverance throughout the course of history. Right? God has made promise after promise after promise to his people, and he continues to fulfill that promise that he'd made to the people of Israel, and that promise that he's made to us through Jesus, that Jesus will come again. Right? And we forget to, in those moments where life is hard, to live in a season of hope, to live in a season of knowing that God's victory has happened already, and that we already have won the battle against sin. So if you're struggling and you're just like thinking, man, my life is really hard. I don't know what your particular battle is. Maybe you're just really struggling because you feel like you're not smart enough in school, or you might feel like you have a terrible relationship with your siblings, or you feel like your parents don't love you, or maybe you feel like you're experiencing a season where your parents don't seem like they're loving each other. Some of you have been through divorce and heartache. And I'm not saying that those aren't hard things. There's nowhere in the Bible that it says, hey, I'm going to make your life real easy. right? That's not in here. That's not in here. But he does say that in those seasons, he is with you and he is with us. So in this passage, but it says, hey, look, things might be bad right now, but I'm doing something new. It talks about I'm making streams in a wasteland. So I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I feel like this is a wasteland moment, right? It seems like there's all sorts of things going wrong around us. People aren't loving each other. People aren't caring for each other. People aren't respecting each other. People are only caring about themselves, right? It feels like that sometimes. But it's important for us to remember that God is doing something in us that's fresh. He's doing something in us that's new. So I challenge you guys. It's really important for us. It's really easy. The easy thing to do is complain, right? I don't know about you guys, but I can complain pretty easily. Philippians 2:14 says, do everything without grumbling and arguing, right? And that's really difficult at times because you feel like everybody around you is so much dumber than you are. But the reality of it is you're probably fitting in with the people around you that you feel like are dumber than you guys. So my challenge for you guys is look around you and in the moment, try to look at what God is blessing you with now, right? In this passage, people were grumbling and complaining because they were looking at all of the stuff that they used to have. And they're forgetting to look at the work that God is doing right now, right? So my challenge for you is in this season where life is hard. I'm not saying life is not hard. I'm not saying like, hey, stop complaining because your life isn't nearly as hard as it was for the people in Egypt. I'm not comparing their situation to ours. But I'm saying it's really easy for us to be in a situation and instead of looking for what God is doing, we spend all of our energy focusing and being grumpy about the things that we no longer have or the things that we want. So my challenge for you guys is spend some time today, some time this weekend focusing on stuff that you can see around you that God might be blessing you with. And like for me, I've shared that with you guys a little bit. And, quarantine has been really difficult. Quarantine's been hard. I miss being with my friends. I miss hanging out with my buddies, going out and we do video game nights and stuff like that. I miss being able to play in my softball league. Right. There is things that I am mourning, right? But I'm also choosing to, even though life isn't how it was, choosing to focus on the blessings that God has been giving me in this season. And that means, he's helped my life slow down. He's made it so that Carolyn and I are able to spend more time together. I've been able to just spend more time at home, which was really very rare for me 6 months ago. Seemed like Carolyn and I were always going somewhere. And Carolyn and I both have a tendency to spend a lot of time meeting the needs of others. And this gave us time to take care of ourselves a little bit and reinvest in ourselves. Peter Scazzaro is the father-in-law of one of my great friends. He's a pastor, and he says it's hard for you to pour out your life into someone else's when you have holes in your own bucket. Right. So God has given me this time to, patch some of the holes in my own bucket because I spend a lot of time trying to help people with the holes in their buckets. Right. So it's kind of like on the airplane where they tell you to put your face mask on first before you take care of other people. Right. So it gave me the opportunity to take care of myself. So I encourage you guys, look for the blessing that God's given you in these seasons, pour into those. And then once again, we are in a season where we're able to do things in person. So if you and your family are comfortable with you being in person, I invite you guys to come to our movie night next week. Come to the s'mores night the week after that. We're going to do a food packing event for it to be passed out for families in need with North County Interfaith. We'll have more information for that coming, but that'll be the middle of November. And we will be resuming our Restless program in 3 weeks. So once again, I'm glad I could hang out with you guys this Friday afternoon. I love you. I miss you. I hope to see you soon. Have a great weekend. Lights out. There you go. And you guys can't tell, but that got Jazz out. It looked like he was just sitting under my chair and I didn't even know it. But I shot out the camera. Success. Love you guys. Miss you guys. Hope to see you soon. I'm gonna take the dart off so you guys can see Jazz is like literally right there. He went to go get the dart off of the screen. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna see if I can shoot this across the room and see if Jazz will go get it. Ready, Jazz? Hey, Jazz. Ready, Jazz? It's a great face right there. So Carolyn and I have a mirror, and I'm just shooting it onto the mirror. Oh, he might hang up. Bye, guys. Jazz is on the computer. He's signing off. I'm going to end it before he does something. Oh, he's not.